guys, this is your first class of macroeconomics and we're going to start with NIA. Why am I starting with NIA is I want you to understand the concepts of NIA very clearly at the beginning of the year. So throughout the year, you can practice the questions, numericals and concepts so you do not feel lost at the end of the year. Believe me, this is the most scoring part of macroeconomics. And after this lecture, I really want you to feel confident that we are going in the right direction. And once my classes with NIA are over, I want you to tell yourself and to each one of you, each one of your friends around you that you know NIA really well and you can solve any damn question that is going to appear in your exam. And believe me, CBSE is the easiest exam to crack because it generally tests the amount of hard work you've done throughout the year. It is not going to be a very difficult paper. And if you really follow me every day with the kind of tips I'm giving you, or the questions I'm doing with you, or the strategies I'm asking you to employ, believe me, nobody can stop you to score good marks in economics. Okay, the first concept that I'm going to tell you about is domestic territory. So, what is domestic territory? It is a part of a country's political border, or in other words, it means that it includes everything that comes inside the political frontiers of a country. It generally includes ships, aircrafts owned by normal residents of the country. It includes fishing vessels, oils, natural gas rigs, etc., being owned by the country. It also includes the embassies, military establishments of a country being located outside. So these are the inclusions, okay? Embassies, ships and aircrafts, etc. Now, what is more important is to look at the non-inclusion. So, what does it not include? Okay, it does not include embassies, foreign establishments, and military consulates of a foreign country. Of a foreign country. I'll tell you what is it. Let's say Indian embassy is located in Russia. Indian embassy in Russia. Now you would say that, ma'am, that should be a part of domestic territory of Russia because it is being located within the political borders and frontiers of Russia. No. Indian embassy, wherever it is being located in any part of the world, will belong to domestic territory of India. Of India. Similarly, any other embassy, located in India belong to their original countries. Belong to their original countries. For example, Russian embassy in India. Russian embassy in India will belong to Russia. Domestic territory of Russia, to be precise. Okay, so do not get confused about these. And the next thing is international organizations. So international organizations like UNO or WHO, they do not belong to the domestic territory of the countries they are located. Let's say that WHO is located in Delhi. They do not belong to domestic territory of India. WHO in Delhi does not belong to domestic territory of India. These are the two exceptions that you have to remember. Okay. Now we go to the questions on domestic territory. What kind of questions can be asked on these? Okay. Let's say I ask you, branch of a foreign bank in India, branch of any foreign bank, let's say branch of Deutsche Bank in India. Okay. Will it be included in India, in domestic territory of India? Yes, it will be included because it is located within the domestic territory of India, and the exceptions go only to international organizations and embassies. So it will be included in India. Okay. Okay. Office of Google in India. Yes, it will be included in domestic territory of India because it is located inside the domestic territory of India, and we are not talking about any embassy or international organization here. Okay, let's say we are talking about Indian embassy in the US. In the US, it belongs to India. It belongs to domestic territory of India, irrespective of its location. So do not get confused about it. Let's say Japanese embassy in India. Yes. Sorry. Yes, it will belong to domestic territory of Japan. No, it will not belong to domestic territory of India. Okay. The last thing, let's say if I ask you any Indian company's office in Japan. Let's say I say there is a office of Reliance, office of Reliance in Japan. It belongs to domestic territory of Japan, not in India. Not India. Okay, so the exceptions go only to the embassies and world international organizations like World Health or UNO. Okay, now let's talk about all these things are covered. Now let's talk about who are the normal residents. So we are talking about the definition. Normal residents are those people who reside in a country and whose center of economic interest also lies in that country. Now, what is center of economic interest? Center of economic interest is that you are located in the domestic territory and you are carrying out some economic activities of earning. These two conditions should be fulfilled for being a normal resident. Let's look at the non-inclusions. Non-inclusions. So who are not the normal residents? Firstly, the tourists who visit any country, they are not the normal residents. Staff of embassies, they are not the normal residents of the country they are located within. In staff of international organizations, like WHO, organization. They belong to the countries from which they are originating. I mean, if there is somebody who is working in India in WHO, he would be the normal resident of the country he belongs to and not India. But there is one exception. There is one exception. The exception is that people who are working in the international organizations in any country for more than 1 year, they would be the normal residents of the country in which those organizations are located. I'll tell you what. Let's say that there is a there is an American person who belongs to the US, but he's working in WHO in India for less than 1 year. He would be the normal resident of the US. But if the similar guy works in WHO in India for more than 1 year, that particular guy will become the normal resident of India. So the normal residentship is concerned with 1 year concept for international organizations only. Okay, now let's look at the questions. Okay, let's say we have one Indian official working in Indian embassy in the US. Will he be the normal resident of India? Yes, he would be the normal resident of India, because in any case Indian embassy belongs to India and he's working over there. He is the normal resident of India. Let's say there is a tourist who has visited India for vacation. Would he be the normal resident of India? No, he would not be a normal resident of India. Let's say there is one Indian guy who is working in WHO office in America for less than 1 year. He would be the normal resident of India and not America. But if this guy works in the WHO office located in America for more than 1 year, he would become the normal resident of America and not India. So this is what you have to remember. So these questions come in exam and you have to be very sure about them. Do not get confused. My advice is make a small note of this lecture in your register. Whatever standard textbook you're following, let's say NCRD or CBSE or Sandeep Garg, you can go there, write the comprehensive definitions, write the questions given at the end of the book, and write them properly so that you do not forget them. In the next lecture, I'll help you to do the questions related to these very concepts that came in the past years. And I'm pretty sure similar questions would come in your 2020 paper as well. Till that time, I would take a leave. I wish you good luck, study well, be confident, and I'm pretty sure you will do well in your exams.